All right, ladies and gentlemen, the man that got third and fourth in regionals. I'm sick, so forgive the voice. You gotta do all the talking, boss. Go ahead.
So I played probably one of the lesser-known leaders in the game. This guy hasn't seen much play at all, ever. Broly. He's very handsome. I don't know if you saw his movie, but there's some really excellent scenes of him looking really strong. You should check it out. But in reality, I was the only Broly player in top four. Top four was all Surge Q. But the difference between my Broly leader and all the other Broly leaders is my Broly leader has a side chick. So I put the side chick next to Broly, and she was casting spells on people the whole time. And I put this little Goku on her, and then I had my Broly on my Broly, and I think that really helped me out a lot. But all serious, I think it was really burning the battering. So I want to give a shout out to PPG before I even start for sending me all those non-foil batterings, because I'm going to burn all of them and pray every time I go to events. So thanks for that. Anyway, I'm going to start my profile with my win condition card. It's Mira. This is a really good card, and you should have it on your deck. And I would highly recommend putting it on your deck list. Unlike me, I didn't put it on my deck list, so I couldn't play it. So this got taken out. In that position, I sided in Fu from my side deck. Really excellent card, does a lot of work, but expensive, especially in playing Broly. If you don't have the beans and you don't have the space to bean, and you tap 4 for this guy, and then he gets Frost Deadly poisoned, you're kind of sitting with your thumb in your ears. So good card, didn't do much work for me. Mira would have been a lot more useful. I'm just going to kind of go through by color. Universe 7's most handsome, unstoppable Goku. Very good looking card, super inexpensive. You can pick it up for like 90 cents. No, I'm just kidding. It's really expensive. It's super overpriced. Fortunately, I bought way too many draft boxes that I know what to do with, so I have a lot of them. Really, really good card though. I think the game's more interesting. I think the card should also be limited to 2. So if you're ready to half ban a card and you're listening, limit this to 2, because playing this 4 turns in a row makes the game not interesting. Y'all know what he does. Super underrated card that Bandai was very smart for making a championship card of, because I got them. I got a playset now.
Yeah, why
This
are they not on the
card
deck?
is fire. The skill to draw 2 and drop 1 from your hand is an absolutely amazing skill. Super underrated. The Surge Goku leader does it, and that's why he's awesome. But this guy basically, I mean, in terms of having a body that swings, it can be helpful in certain matchups. It really came in clutch with Janemba, actually, because I was able to put a lot of pressure just by getting these guys out and swinging with them. But just his skill activation was just amazing to untap at the end of a turn and draw 2, drop 1. Also fills up your drop for Overwhelm. Super good card. And I kind of had an interesting tech in here that my boys and I came up with, where you could play him out. And this was kind of designed to deal with Topo. So when they Topo, you can Desperate Measures this guy back to your hand, and it's just going to give you more draw power and untapping on your next turn. Came in clutch in a couple games yesterday. I didn't really see it in Top Cut because people looked at deck lists, and I think they figured out that I was trying to do that. But in the event that did work and we Desperate Measures that guy out of there, turn 3, we could play this guy for free. Not for free, for 1. Basically for free, for a 20k crit. Throw a double strike on him, and it was a pretty good play. More often than not, people aren't really looking to take a crit swing by turn 3, especially if it's double, so they'll just combo out of it, and you're just thinning your hand, or you're getting negates out of their hand. Especially in the Janemba matchup. I played a really good Janemba player, and I had to really focus on just thinning his hand, so we run 2 of those in the main, but that was really based off of this tech to work with Topo. Nobody really knows very much about this card. It's a super underplayed card. It's like this monkey. The story's supposed to be about dragons, so I don't know why there's monkeys in it, but it's like this big ape, and he's beating on his chest. And you just tap 2, get this guy out. It's a pretty amazing play. It's pretty easy to, turn 2, you play this guy out, swing with him, whatever, then they target him, you bean, get back to 2, monkey, drop that, rest something, draw a card. Very good to get a double striker. But Red Vegeta does work on him, and I experienced that in my last match, so something to look out for. More into the yellow, the most handsome Galactic Patrolman, and we wanted to make sure we had a balance of the event pack and the regular. Jocko is a very scared character in the show, but he's got style and he's got moves, and he comes in when you need him, and he gets that draw power for you. It's nice to have a 10K. Even sometimes you don't need to draw, but usually saw the draw of it. Champa the Trickster. I was running 3 of these originally, but I thought 2 was enough. He didn't really see that much play, but I also think I just didn't really know how to use him as well as he should have been used. I didn't realize that his skill was separate than his counterplay, so I didn't think you could use him against cards with deflect, but I was educated in that you can still play it. It won't affect the card, or it will affect the card because the auto goes off separately, so education for me. Use Champa the Trickster. So this was a tech that we put in the deck that I hardly used at all because he's designed for this card. Turn 4, you Mira, Awaken, Swing, Blood or Cooler there, negate, and then Bean, so you're back up. And then that always goes through. They're not going to combo out of this dude. His forearm is like super powerful, but he wasn't in our deck, so we didn't get to do that. And you cannot cooler with Fu unless you have all of your beans, and that's probably a bad bean investment. So save your beans. Don't use them on cooler. Didn't really do much work for me. I have a thing for grandpas. I think grandpas are super cool. I'm looking forward to being a grandpa myself. And this is the guy that trained grandpa, so I kind of just wanted him in the deck because he's a grandpa. I used him once, 5K combo.
That trained Gohan? I didn't know that.
Yeah, this is the guy that trained Grandpa Gohan. So he's like the real grandpa. He's like grandpa.
I thought Masaroshi trained Gohan.
You're right. He trained Master Roshi. Yeah. With the the rice jar, cooker, all that stuff. Excuse me. Yeah. Thanks for the correction there. Yeah. This is an amazing card. Anything that gives you free arrival and is really good. And it says 1 here, but if you have a multicolor in your energy, which we have our multicolor lands, which we are charging like whoa. These guys, you just charge these all you can. Turn 1, you can charge one of these. You may use it once to get these Bojacks to come out. You may not use it. I didn't really play Bojack that much, but it was a good play just to have the 5K, and it's also a good first charge. This is actually my favorite first charge. I used this card maybe once or twice, but I really like charging it because it looks really good, and then I get to look at it the whole game in my energy area. A lot of people think that if you just put a card in the discard or you play it, like it's better because it's being used, but the thing they don't think about is like every card in your energy, you get to look at that card the whole game, and it's really important to have really good looking stuff in your energy. So this is basically just, if I saw this in my opening hand, I'd keep it because I want to charge it. And then amazing card, boom, secret rare. I probably wouldn't have seen this so much if I didn't set a bad ring on fire before I came here. So the fact that I set the bad ring on fire, I saw this pretty much every game, like pretty consistently. I think there was 1 game that I got milled out by Janemba, and I wasn't going to win that game anyway, so it didn't matter if I saw it or not, but this card is awesome. Tap 4, draw 4. The thing to be careful about with this card is play it when you can, because if you have an opening to play it and then you swing with something else and they pull their energy back up, good luck playing that card. So play it and then make plays after that. Super good looking card, well worth it. My favorite color is blue and yellow, so I really like playing blue and yellow. Everybody knows what this guy is. He shows his armpit and it's really smelly, and then they have to take 2 life. Works. This is actually really good. This was really good early on. This was really good early on in certain matchups with, surprisingly, with Goku Black, because people don't really expect a double strike on him. Like, it's better on him than on your leader, because your leader's only 10 and he's 15. So, like, just to make them get cards out of their hand, I would, like, swing with the Goku Black, Champa, Awaken, throw on a super combo, and then it's like, oh, okay, now I have to deal with this 35 double strike, and it just pressures your opponent. So if I was running Mira, I would have saved it for Mira, but I didn't have Mira in my deck, so I had to figure out some different stuff. I don't think anybody's playing this card, but they're super good. It's Bean. It's a bean. You can eat it and be full for weeks. And that's basically what it does. I'm not going to talk too much about it. You can look it up on the World Wide Web. All right, what else here? For negates, we had 1 coercion, because it's fun to turn an energy back. 2 time magic, because sometimes you need to take stuff from your life and rest something. 3 nimbus, because nimbus is amazing. And the secret rare, 1 of, really good card. Frieza like rips this really bad smelling, you know what? You can see all the like gas coming out from his body. So you don't want to be around this card, because if you're on the offense and you get a whiff of that, good luck, buddy. Rip the dream. So that's pretty much the deck there, and then I can go into the side deck also.
Please.
I'll take this deck separator and I'll put my Goku on it and I'll upgrade with 1 Broly. Best card in the game. West Kai keeping watch. How many times did I side it in? 0. Because people apparently aren't doing monkeys offensively. This was a great card in theory, but I didn't see any matchups where it worked out. I was thinking against Hachiak this would be good to just get rid of blockers and stuff, but I didn't end up playing any Hachiak, which was awesome because I had Fu in my main board, which you know how good that is. Extra Nimbus in case I saw babbies. Babbies are all over the place, spilling, so I had that for that. I sided this in maybe once or twice. This ended up being a really great card for, I didn't play any green-yellow Broly, but I did play red-yellow Gokus that played out the 6-drop Broly. I think he's a 6-drop, 6 or 7-drop. The one that from set 7 that you can remove a card from combo. It's super annoying to deal with, and this is a very reasonable way to deal with it. So I ran this boy. This was for the Hachiak matchup. Never used it. This came in clutch once against Topo. Topo is good to deal with that. It was actually in like my second to last round. I dropped him, and they played Topo. I dropped the 1 when I attacked, and then they had to drop 3 and it put them down to 1, and they didn't have any cards in hand, and I was basically able to play around that to just pressure their life. Great card. Probably should have run 4 in the side deck. Probably should have run 4 of both of these in the side deck, actually. A lot of these cards didn't end up being as useful as I thought they'd be. And I'll blame Miguel for that. Miguel, if you're listening, that's your fault. But at the same time, this deck is also your fault, so thanks for letting me use your deck. It's my deck, but it's your build, and I stole it. I just threw a little Joku spice. So that was these techs were really the only thing I ever sided in. I wish I had Mirror in the deck, but that's what happens when you miss your flight and then you rush to an event and you don't eat for 24 hours and somehow you manage to make it into Top Cut because you burn bad rings in your free time. I guess that's just what happens. Moral of the story is, write Mirror on your sideboard, make sure your Broly has a side chick, and burn your bad rings. Big shout out to my boys in Arizona. I haven't forgotten about you if you're watching this. All y'all at Manaworks and Jason or JJ's. I don't forget where I came from. I got all you boys in my heart. And also big shout out to Greg's Games in New Jersey. If you guys ever go to Greg's Games, check it out. It's really fun. I'll be there. I give out shiny stuff all the time. Steve, thanks for hitting me up on Reddit and getting me back into this game because I did pretty good. And Miguel, thanks for letting me use your deck list. And Johnny, I'm sorry about bloodlusting your babies all the time. The thing that I think that's important to think about in this game is I really do think that anybody can be a good player. It just comes down to sequencing. A lot of decks can work, and there's a definite like 15% window in this game that's like luck. And if the heart of the cards isn't on your side, don't beat yourself up. Like, it happens, it's a game. And if everybody just, when you play for fun, you've already won.
Nice. Thank you for the most entertaining deck profile done. But till next time, guys, take care.